Hi everybody, and welcome to my new video on how to install Visual Studio Code on Mac. Before installing Visual Studio Code, make sure that you already have a Homebrew installed on your system. If you haven't done so or you don't know how to do it, I left a link below to my other video on how to install Homebrew on Mac. For now, let's start installing Visual Studio Code on Mac. On the search tab, type Visual Studio Code, which is already, if you can see that IntelliSense is helping you with it. Click enter, and you will see in here Visual Studio Code, install command, copy, and now open your terminal and paste what you copied in the terminal in here. Click enter, and that's the download happened. Usually the download is very fast and it takes a few seconds, as you can see now. To double check Visual Studio Code is installed, just type code --version. Here you go. As you can see, we installed 1.81.1. That's the version, Visual Studio Code version, which is usually the latest one. Now, where Visual Studio Code is installed on your system, just open your folder library, click on the hard drive, OPT, this is where Homebrew is, Cast Chrome, Visual Studio Code, that's the version, and this is the app. Or you can go to the apps area and you will see Visual Studio Code is already installed. I will close this one. Now you can open Visual Studio Code from the app, or you can type on the command line code dot, and the Visual Studio Code will open by itself. Now go to the plugins area. In my case, I need to install some plugins, but you may need it for other purposes. For example, I develop in C++ and Python, and this is what I really care about. But you may have another language to install your plugins, and so install what you really feel like. For example, if you in my case, I will install C++ IntelliSense plugin, C++, and here you go. As you can see, we presented with 3 of them. Normally, that's one, IntelliSense debugging. This is the largest one. Yeah, IntelliSense debugging and code browsing. Yeah, I'll click install in here, and see the plugin is installed. I will go for Python and install. This is the best plugin. Try not to install strange plugins where you don't know the source. This is sourced by Microsoft. I'll click on it, install, and now the Python IntelliSense plugin is installed. Now, I like to advise you with a small useful button which is called reload. Here you go. The reload button allows you to refresh Visual Studio Code every time you do something, instead of closing the window and opening it back again. Reload does that for you. Just say install in here, and here is the reload button. If you click on it, it refreshes Visual Studio Code, so you don't need to close the window and reopen it back again. The next thing, you may ask me, why did we use Homebrew to install Visual Studio Code while we can go to Microsoft website and install it from there? Here you go, and it's available, download Mac Universal. The answer is yes, you can do that. However, if you install it on Mac direct from the Microsoft website, then you need to add some environment variables yourself to link Visual Studio Code to the system. While doing that using Homebrew, it does it for you automatically, so you don't have to go for extra settings and you may do some errors. Therefore, I advise you to stick to Homebrew all the time when you install such software when it's available here. So yeah, ignore this page and use Homebrew always to install Visual Studio Code on your system. That's all for everybody. Thank you for watching this video. Until the next one, see you later.